Hello there. I'm David A. Specht, and I want to be your coach. If there's anything that I have learned in my 30 plus years of leadership and coaching, I have learned that mindset is everything. Join me and my guests as we explore the positives and negatives of that thing between our ears. This is Keep This in Mind. Good day. Good to see you all. We are recorded, but I hope you're watching this on the recording because what I want to share with you is very important. It's a lesson that I took away from a funeral. I was at a funeral this weekend with my wife and my in-laws' best friends. The husband passed away about a week ago, a little more than a week ago. And we were at the funeral, and as most funerals do, some people wanted to speak, members of the family and such. And one of the members of the family came up and told the story about how while their father was in ICU, he called each one of the kids in one at a time and began to talk to them about what he wanted them to be responsible for, what they were going to do in his absence once he had passed away and moved on. And it was very interesting to me. Of course, number one, his biggest thing was take care of your mother. But each one of them, he gave very specific instructions on what to do with regard to life without him, whether it was dealing with the probate, whether it was dealing with the finances, dealing with the house, just whatever. The things that were important to him and wanted to make sure that they were taken care of upon his departure from earth, he made sure that his kids knew exactly what they needed to be responsible for. And I got to thinking about that over the last couple of days since we've gotten back. And I had to ask myself, David, have you made preparations for such? Now, we are entrepreneurs, we're small business owners, so I'm not talking necessarily about for the family in the event of my death. But at the same time, in our businesses, have we established what is necessary should we be unable to be involved? Do your people know, do my people know what they're to do if I'm not there? This is a very difficult thing to think about because, number one, it's our business and we always plan on being there. Number two, it kind of makes you maybe a little leery when you begin to look at the people around you and say, can these people handle things without me? The entrepreneur in us are like, no, I'm the guy, I'm the one. But the truth is, none of us are the one. And if we want something to outlive us, to outsurvive us, to be a legacy, then it's got to be able to operate without us at some point. So I have no notes today, but I want to explore this idea with you here as we go through today's lesson. What are some of the things that we need to be aware of? What are some of the responsibilities that those around us need to be made aware of? Well, number one, they need to know that they have responsibilities, that they don't just clock in and clock out, that there are responsibilities that take place should you not be there. And it doesn't matter if you're not there for a minute or for ever. Do your people know who's responsible for opening up? Who's responsible for closing down? Who's responsible for following up on emails? Who's responsible for the marketing? Have you thought about that? And do they know? Just like John had meetings with each and every one of his kids, we should have the forethought, the foresight to have those meetings, those one-on-ones with the people that we're going to count on in our absence, to let them know, hey, I'm counting on you in this, and if anything were to happen to me, or if for some reason I am out, This is what I want you to be in charge of. This is what I want your responsibility to be. This is what I want you to take ownership of. In my own business, I've got people that I can count on, and I've got people that know their roles and responsibilities. But do they know what to do if I'm not there driving the business? Do your people know what to do if you're not there driving the business? So I want you to begin to think about that. This thought of I'm not going to be around forever. This almost mortality thinking, if you will. Because here's the thing: if you're going to grow beyond your day-to-day, then you've got to grow beyond the day-to-day. You've got to be able to convey, to train, to hold accountable to those things that are so vitally important to the success of your business and the success of you personally. As you open up to this idea, things are going to flood your mind as to what needs to be taken care of. For my businesses, it's, hey, who's going to be responsible to make sure papers get out? Who's going to make sure that the ends are being made, the ends are meeting, the bills are being paid, the money's coming in. In my real estate business, it's going to be who is going to be responsible for my clients when I'm gone? Who's going to be responsible for making sure that they are taken care of in my absence should something dire happen? I know this is a very sobering lesson this week, but can I tell you that when you begin to have that plan in place, whether it's beyond your life or merely because you want to go to the Bahamas for a month, whatever it is, now that you begin to take in that, now that you begin to think about that, now that you begin to put a plan in place, it lifts the weight of uncertainty off of your shoulders because you know that these things will be taken care of in your absence. Now, you say, David, I'm a one-man show. What do I do? The same thing. Begin to find those in your life, whether it's family members, close personal friends. If you have people that you can trust, that you say, look, someday I may not be here and I want this business to last. I want this entity to last. I want this project to last beyond me. You need to begin to think about who can be responsible for what in your absence, in my absence. So as we close out today, I want to encourage you. This is not a negative downer of a subject. Yes, the idea of something outliving you brings a sense of mortality. We're not immortal. But at the same time, it can bring you this joy of something that's going to last beyond your years. And if you begin to set that succession or begin to set that who's responsible for what in my absence plan in place, now you can look forward to what is next. You can continue to build the business. You can set the business up maybe for your own exit to where you can move on to the next thing, you entrepreneurs out there that have entrepreneurship ADD. But until you do that, everything's flowing through you. Until you set up the who's responsible for what, it's always going to be on your shoulders, and it doesn't need to be on your shoulders. Look, let's begin right now to think about who can be responsible for what. Let me be prepared for my own absence. God bless.
That is going to do it for this episode of Keep This in Mind. For more, visit davidaspecht.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you for listening, and remember, applied knowledge is power. God bless.